if dollars can outvote voters, then we're not a democracy. And I've decided to defend a kind of simplistic sounding idea when it comes to presidential democracy, which is that a democracy ought to pick its leader by just counting up all the votes and giving it to the one that manages the most. Now, I believe as you take and unpack these issues, at least according to my understanding of the world, when you look at freedom and security, when you think about the implications of faith or family, when you shore up our democracy, those things point you in a decidedly progressive direction. That's just how it looks to me. We got a moment where we got to find a new vocabulary to talk about these issues. Because I belong to a party that has sometimes had trouble connecting in our part of the country. And there's no reason that ought to be the case. Nowhere is it written that the Midwest, or for that matter, the Plains or even the South, have to be conservative forever. We can change all of that. And it's part of why I'm standing before you. Because I come from a community, an industrial Midwestern community that was almost given up for dead. At the beginning of this decade, even 50 years after the auto companies left, we still hadn't gotten over it. In some ways we haven't, but we started growing, we started building. We recognized through a process of difficult, honest conversation that the future wasn't going to look like the past. The old auto factories weren't coming back, but we were. And then we talked about how to make sure it actually happened. And I see industrial communities and rural communities, any place where young people sometimes grow up getting that message that to succeed you got to get out. I don't remember anybody ever sitting me down and telling me that. It's just the message I took on board. And I did just that. When I was 18, I couldn't get far away enough from Indiana, only to realize gradually that I was from somewhere. Maybe you've had this experience. You travel to a different place, maybe on the coasts, and people aren't quite as Midwestern as you are. And you begin to realize you're the product of a certain culture. And I found my way home. We got to beat back the idea that the only way to connect with our part of the country is through resentment or nostalgia, or an unkeepable promise to turn back the clock and make America great again. What makes America great is our focus on the future, and that's why there's no such thing as a constructive or an honest politics founded on the word again. There is no going back, and that's not a bad thing. It's a scary thing, but it's not a bad thing. We're not talking about going back to some old normal. We're talking about making sure the new normal is better than anything we've ever seen, and it is the quintessential American thing to do. So if you believe in these ideas, if you support this message, if you're ready to help an unlikely figure like me become the President of the United States, I'm going to need your help. I'm going to need everybody here to draw more friends into the process. Not only, I hope, to support this campaign, but also to help shape this campaign. To make sure people of different backgrounds, maybe different politics, different races, and different generations come together around this idea that we can win the era and make it better for all of us. Can I look to you for that kind of help?